This is now. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell is already being touted as the Metal Gear Solid killer. Now those are big words, but one look at this game shows that Splinter Cell is more than just talk. You'll don a form-fitting black bodysuit and assume the role of Sam Fisher, an agent for a super-secret branch of the National Security Agency called the Third Echelon. This Third Echelon is a Splinter Cell of the government, tasked with doing some of the dirtier jobs asked by Uncle Sam.
The game is going to be split into 12 different levels. The way you progress into the game is you won't start with all your weapons and all your gadgets, because there are so many of them that you need first to really master them well. So the game is progressive in that sense, and you start with missions that are a little bit easier, and when you arrive, like I said, the middle of the game, then you get everything, like all your weapons, all your gadgets, and that's when the game gets really, really interesting.
Just like in Metal Gear Solid, you'll play through a third-person perspective. However, the camera is much more dynamic. You can use one control stick to move, while the other has full control of the camera. When you bring up your gun to fire, the camera moves in close right over your shoulder and a targeting reticle appears. In this mode, Splinter Cell controls like a first-person shooter. While standing in total darkness, you'll virtually be invisible to enemy eyes, while well-lit areas are to be avoided.
But it's not only window dressing. Basically, in the game, as it's a stealth game, you need to use all those shadows. And what you can do also is create your own shadows sometimes by shooting some lights.
Sam will also have his share of gymnastic moves, such as being able to bounce from wall to wall, Jackie Chan style, and do the splits in a narrow hallway to avoid guards below. A slew of high-tech weaponry will be available to you, with a silenced FN-57 pistol and a multi-purpose sniper rifle falling in the first category. Night vision goggles are mandatory nowadays, but Sam is also decked out with a set of thermal goggles which displays the heat signatures of everything around. Mission obstacles will vary from obtaining secret documents in an enemy base to infiltrating the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C.
He found us.
Of course, any game that's expected to go toe-to-toe with Metal Gear Solid 2 has to look good. And boy, does Splinter Cell look good. One of the most incredible features is the real-time shadows. Watch as the shadows will show up not just on Sam, but even on the gear he carries. Red Storm knows tactical shooters, and from what we've seen so far, it looks like Metal Gear Solid has some fierce competition coming. So we say, Snake who?